This is Angela. I'm the coordinator for the online Chinese courses of BLCU Online Education College. So we are going to start a free open class today talking about the HSK test. I would like to explain about what is HSK and why should you take the HSK test. So if you are ready, so I will start my presentation today. If you have any questions during my presentation, you can just leave a message in the chatting area or ask the question in the question part by the side of the chatting box. So I will have a short question and answer part by the end of today's class. So if you are also watching this from the web page, you can also leave a message there so I can see and answer your question later when the course is finished. So are you ready? Are you guys ready for the course? Okay. So is my sound clear for everybody? Let me check real quick. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll start. Can you see my screen too with the slides on the screen? Yeah. Okay. So, all right, then I will start. Here is a QR code of my WeChat. If you have WeChat, you can scan this QR code and add me. So later, if you have more questions or details you want to ask, you can ask me. And also, we have a WeChat group for learning Chinese. So you can add me, so I can invite you in the group. If you don't have WeChat, my email is here. So this is my email and our website for HSK. So www.eblcu.com/HSK. And my email is my name, Chen Weijia is my Chinese name, at blcu.edu.cn. Okay, so let's start for our course today. So my presentation, including 9 parts. So starting with what is HSK, and I will introduce the HSK levels and what are HSK test scores for, and how to take HSK test, and also which HSK level should you register for and how you can know your current Chinese level and what's on HSK test. So how to prepare for HSK test and how can us, EBLCU, help you to prepare for HSK. And the last part is a question and answer. So if you have any question, you can just leave a message in the chatting box. I will check it later. So I will go ahead, start from the first topic. What is HSK? So HSK stands for 汉语水平考试。汉语水平考试。So H is 汉语 Chinese. 水平 is proficiency levels. 考试 is test. So HSK, that is what is that for? It's an official standardized test for Chinese language proficiency. And also HSK will test Chinese learners' ability to use Chinese as a second language in their daily life, academic usage, and professional lives through a standardized examination and evaluation with uniform grading, and scoring system. So the HSK test began in 1984 at our university, Beijing Language and Culture University, and was officially made a national standardized test in 1992. So the sixth level of HSK exam, which like we are very familiar with, and currently we use a lot, have been used since 2009. So we'll give some details of them. So here are the HSK levels. So can you see it clearly? So I've listed HSK 1 to HSK 6 and also HSK 7 to 9. So before 2009, the Chinese proficiency test, the HSK test, was divided into 3 stages and 11 levels. By that time, the HSK test is very difficult for beginners. So we updated a change to the 6 levels that we are now very familiar with. We currently still using that 6 levels. And starting from 2022, like HSK levels 7 to 9 added on top of HSK 1 to 6. So here goes the HSK levels currently we have and the requirements of each level. Here goes the words that requires for each level. And here goes the words, new words that is needed for each HSK levels. So you can see for HSK 1 to 3 is still okay, like not a lot. But starting from HSK 4, the words requirements grows up rapidly. So it definitely need more hardworking starting from HSK 4 to above. And also you may notice like HSK 7 to 9, the requirements are like double to HSK 6. So yeah, here are some details for the description of each level. So for HSK 1, it's just a very beginning of the Chinese levels. So it's designed for learners who can understand and use some simple Chinese characters and sentences to communicate and prepare them for continuing their Chinese studies. In HSK 1, all characters are provided along with the pinyin. And HSK 2 designed for learners who use Chinese in simple and direct manner, applying it in a basic fashion to their like daily life. In HSK 2, still have pinyin for all of the characters. Starting from HSK 3, the test requires you to read Chinese characters. So they won't have the pinyin for all of the characters that listed on the test paper. So that level designed for learners who can use Chinese to serve demands of their personal lives, studies, and work, and are capable to completing most of communicative tasks they experienced during their Chinese tour. So this is a level for daily use, daily Chinese usage. And HSK 4 designed for learners who can discuss a relatively wide range of topics in Chinese and are capable of communicating with Chinese speakers at a higher standard. And starting from HSK 5, you can able to like read some Chinese newspapers and magazines, watch Chinese films, TV, and have a higher Chinese level starting from HSK 5. And HSK 6 is an advanced level already, designed for learners who can easily understand any information communicated in Chinese and are capable to smoothly expressing themselves in written or oral speaking. And for HSK 7 to 9, this is new. This is the new level adding on top of 1 to 6. This is for professional usage. So designed for advanced proficiency levels, learners of Chinese as a second language, including international students who want to study master or doctor degree in China, studying in the major of Chinese, like Chinese language, or as well as like professional studies involved with like Chinese language research, and or you are doing research on economy, culture, and technical exchanges, but you need to read the documents all in Chinese. So in that case, you need HSK 7 to 9. Okay, and number 3, what are HSK test scores for? Of course, like a lot of students get the HSK test score, would like to like apply for Chinese universities. I think that's the mostly a lot of like students taking HSK test for. But as well as that, you have other usage with the HSK test scores. Of course, it's like for a language learner, you want to evaluate yourself. You want to know which level you are in. The HSK test is a very good way to evaluate your learning. And if you join a course related to Chinese language inside or outside China, sometimes the HSK test score will give you course credits for that. And if you're applying for a new job and get promotions in Chinese related industries and have a HSK score, higher HSK score, or have a HSK certificate will help you to find a job related to China or Chinese language. And also for international students, if you want to apply for a school, like in some like Chinese related majors for graduation, they also requires a certain HSK levels. And of course, if you want to apply for a scholarship from Chinese government or from a Chinese university, usually it requires a HSK level. Also, gaining points on visa applications for foreigners applying to work in China, HSK is also very useful. So that is what the test scores for. Then we come to next question, how to take the HSK test. I think there are 3 major steps to take the HSK test. So number 1, you need to find a local test center. And number 2, you need to choose or set a test date. And number 3, you need to also choose a test method. So generally speaking, HSK exams are held every month, except for the month of the Chinese New Year, usually maybe January or February. They will stop for 1 month. Usually for the other months of the year, they will take the exam like monthly. Exam registration cannot be conducted across border, so you need to take the exam at your local exam center, like where you are resident right now. Even for online exams, registration at local exam center is required. So the HSK exam has like almost more than 500 test centers in like more than 100 countries and regions around the world. So you can find, I believe you can find a test center like near you. So how to find the test date and the test center? This is the website for the official HSK test. So you can just log in that web page and you can search. Here is a picture. You can search the test date and test center from that website. And when you find a test center, they will list the contact information of the certain test center. If you have problem about registration, you can just contact them, contact the local test center to get the information. And talking about the options of test method, there are 3 methods of taking the HSK test. First one is paper-based exam, and second one is computer-based and online exams. So both the first 2, the paper-based and computer-based exams, need to be taken in the test center, so at your local place. And the online exams, which will register from local test center, but you can take it at home. But the online exam is like not being held for all of the test centers. So you need to check the information and see if your local test center offers online exams. But usually they have computer-based or paper-based exam for all of the test centers. So also for online exams, they have requirements about your test device. So I remember they requires 2 cameras. One is like filming you. The other one is like filming the test paper you're like answering. For the paper-based exam, you will answer the test on the test paper with a pen. And for computer-based exam, you will answer it with the computer they offered from the test center. So you can type with like a pinyin. Okay. So, by the way, for all of the information, because the test is taking at local test center, so everything you need to confirm with the test center you register from. So what I am giving you is just a brief introduction of the test. The detailed requirements you need to double check with your local test center. And again, this is the website, and please find the test center that near you and check the details. Then let's come to the next question. Which HSK level should I register for? And how can I know my current Chinese level? So it's a very easy way to know your Chinese level is to do a mock test from the HSK test official website. So here I give you a picture of the website. You get into the website and choose this, do a mock, and choose different levels. You can just do a free mock test on the website and get an idea of what level you are in right now. And some students may ask, which level can I start from? Do I need to start from like level 1? I want to say the HSK exam registration can start from any level. So if you are already at a higher Chinese level, you can start from your level. You don't need to start from HSK 1. So I would suggest you to do a mock test first to get an idea of which level you are in, and then having a plan of studying Chinese and taking the real HSK test. Okay. Also, I have some suggestion here. If your goal is just measure your current Chinese level, so you can just take the corresponding level of exam after completing a period of study. For example, you finish a study course of HSK1. You want to know if you are qualified. You want to know if your level reaches HSK1, really. So you can have a test for HSK1 and check your level. So that is for the first purpose. Second purpose, if your goal is to study or work in China, I will usually recommend to start with HSK 3 and taking HSK 3 to 6 according to your own level. Because it is usually requires HSK 4, 3 or 4 or above to apply for Chinese government or university scholarships here in China. So usually HSK 1 and 2 is not very useful when you apply for a scholarship or things like that. So if you're planning to study in a university, or even find a job in Chinese, I will suggest HSK 3 plus levels to take. And number 3, if your goal is be an expert of Chinese language, and you've already have a very good background of Chinese language, and you're planning to study like Chinese language, or you're planning to do some researches using Chinese, or apply for a doctoral or master degree in Chinese language, you can take HSK 7 to 9 levels. That is to say, if you are just for daily usage, for work or for living or for studying in China, usually HSK 1 to 6 is enough. HSK 7 to 9 is for professional usage of the language. Okay, so then next question will be, what's on HSK test? So you can take a look at here. I listed the levels and the test, including 2 parts, actually 3 parts, if including for HSK 7 to 9. A written test and an oral test. For HSK 7 to 9, it has a translation part. So for usually for HSK 1 to 6, it just including 2 parts, written and oral test. Before I think starting from this year or late last year, the oral test is adding to the written test. Before it is only the written test for HSK 1 to 6. Oral test is not a must. But right now, if you apply for HSK test from HSK 3 to HSK 6, you must also register for the oral test. Usually it is in the same day, like in the morning you do a written test, in the afternoon you do oral tests. Something like that depends on the test centers. So for the written test, it has listening, reading, and writing 3 parts. For HSK1 and HSK2, because they are not requires they not require a Chinese character writing, so you only need to do listening and reading part. Are okay. You don't need to do the writing parts. So they have different questions for the listening and reading parts. For HSK 1 to 6, all of the listening and reading parts are multiple choices or true or false. You don't need to answer the question with like a long sentence or anything. So for the written part, writing part, HSK 3 has 10 sentences. You need to write 10 sentences. And HSK 4, you need to write 15 sentences. HSK 5, you need to write 8 sentences and 2 short essays. And HSK 6, it requires a composition of 400 words. So you need to write a short article. And for the oral test part, for HSK 1 and 2, you don't need to do oral test. You just do the written test is enough. And starting from HSK 3, you need to do oral test. HSK 3, you need to do HSKK. The K refers to 口语, oral. HSKK is the HSK oral test. HSKK elementary for HSK 3, HSKK intermediate for HSK 4, and HSKK advanced is required for HSK 5 and 6. So when you register for the HSK test, you can just follow the instruction of your local test center to also register for the oral test. And if you want to know more details about how is the oral test structures and how to prepare for that, I have another open class, had it before the summer vacation. So we have the recording of it. You can watch it from our website, www.eblsu.com, open class. You can find it there. To get some information about how to prepare for the oral test, because that is new, I think, from last year. Yep. So that's HSK 1 to HSK 6. And HSK 7 to 9, that is a different way of testing. They only have one test paper for the 3 levels, 7 to 9. They all use the same test paper. Depends on how many scores you get. They will give you the levels from 7 to 9. Depends on your test scores. And it including listening, reading, writing, and also translation. There are 2 parts of the translation, like translation by writing and also interpretation, like oral. And plus, you also have an oral test for HSK 7 to 9. And also for HSK 7 to there there are more like harder than those HSK 1 to 6. Like start from listening, like each part has subjective questions. So you need to answer questions, not just choosing, starting from listening parts. Okay. Then our next question comes to how to prepare for HSK. I think there are three steps, main steps. The first one is to set goals. So you need to set up a goal according to yourself and your current Chinese level, and also like your long-term goal, like you want to go to China, you want to study here, you want to work, you want to apply for some degree, you want to, yeah. So it depends on your situation and set up the learning goal. And step 2, you need to improve your Chinese. Start learning Chinese according to the goal that you set and improve your Chinese proficiency to meet the requirements of the corresponding HSK levels. So that's the most important part, like to improve your Chinese level first. And number 3 is the last part, exam preparation. So you can start doing some mock exams about 1 to 2 months before the exam date to get familiar with the exam format. So I would say the second part is the first or second part are very important. And if you like set a right goal and you study very hard to improve your Chinese to your goal, the exam preparation is just like understand the format. Yeah, it's not the most important thing for the number 3. The first one and second one more important. So some students may ask, are there any tips for preparing the HSK exam? Can any teacher tell me how to get a high score in the test? I think the purpose of learning Chinese should be use the language in learning or work and life. Like HSK test help you measure your Chinese level, but the test itself should not be your final goal. So I think the most important steps and the first and second. So when your Chinese level meets the requirements of HSK, so the test itself is not a very hard thing to do. Yep. Then we come to the next part. How can our course, eblcu.com, help you to prepare for HSK? So I mentioned there are 3 steps to prepare for HSK test. Number 1 is to set your goal. Number 2 is to study and improve your Chinese to meet the requirements of a certain HSK level. And number 3 is to prepare for the exam. So for the 3 steps, what we can do to help you. Number 1, to set a goal. This is like, of course, you need to do it by yourself. I cannot help you to set up a goal for learning Chinese. But what I can do, or what we can do for you, is to help you get an idea of whether the goal you set is reasonable, or like it is like possible to requires that your goal after like a certain time of learning. So this is totally free. You can book a free trial class from our website, www.eblcu.com. This is our website. You can just book a free trial class and to consult, like have a talk with our teachers and talking to the teacher about your goal, and the teacher can understand your current Chinese level and also give you some suggestions about whether you can finish that learning task during that time, whether you can achieve your goal in a certain time. But of course, for the first place, you need to get an idea of why I need to take the HSK test. What is my goal for learning Chinese? So that is only by yourself can do. And then number two, improve Chinese. You can definitely study Chinese by yourself or from any like your local course, or you can do like self-study from any like resources. Right now we have internet. There are a lot of information, courses, books, and also apps for learning the language. So you can use any of them to study and to improve your Chinese level. So but for now, I suggest that if you can, like take a systematically course to study with a professional Chinese teacher is the best. But if you can't do it for right now, you can choose to study with. I would suggest you to study with video materials and textbooks instead of just using an app to learn vocabulary. I mean, HSK test that is requires for a comprehensive language ability, not just vocabulary or Chinese characters. Usually, like apps will help you to do with the vocabulary or characters remembering, but it's not very good to help you with how to speak a sentence, how to do a conversation, the rules of Chinese language, the grammar. So I would suggest you to study with video materials or books for comprehensive language ability. But when you are taking a course, the apps will help you to remember the words you learn, remember the characters that you learn. Okay, and if you would like to take some Chinese courses with us, we have HSK course under the guidance of a Chinese teacher ourselves. So we have two choices for HSK course, which you can check from this website, www.eblcu.com/HSK. You can find different courses for that. We have two choices to help you improve your Chinese to meet the requirements of certain HSK level from HSK 1 to HSK 6. We don't have a course for HSK 7 to 9 right now. So 1 to 6, we have courses. Two choices, group class, 12 weeks group class, or one-on-one personalized class to help you improve your Chinese to meet the HSK test requirements. Okay, so if you have done the first two steps, the final HSK test preparation would not be very, very hard. To prepare for the written test, you can just choose a mock test to get familiar with the exam formats from the website of HSK Test. Also for oral speaking test, they also have mock exam or like test papers that you can do by yourself, but you can record your answers for oral speaking and check if your level meets the requirements of that level. So you can do it by yourself, just preparing it like 1 or 2 months before the exam date. So the goal for this part is like just get familiar with the test formats. But if you want to like get a guidance from the teacher, like the teacher help you to prepare for the test, we also have HSK and HSKK pre-test preparation course. You can also choose it from the website. So it's a short-term test course for you to just get familiar with the test formats. The teacher will explain each parts of the test and help you do some exercise for each parts. Especially for if you're planning to do a HSKK test, want to prepare for the oral speaking test. Some students may not feel very confident about the oral speaking parts. To under the guidance of a teacher, like the teacher will help you to prepare the oral speaking part, help you to correct your speaking, like tones, mistakes, give you an idea of how to answer a question in oral speaking, like the structures and formats of the oral speaking test is also very helpful. So yeah, you can choose HSK or HSKK pre-test preparation course. But I want to emphasize again that the test preparation course is not a must. If you already have the Chinese level, the final test preparation is just to familiarize yourself with the test pattern. Our pre-test preparation course cannot help you improve your Chinese level in a very short period of time. You need to do is number 2, like and to improve your Chinese, set a long-term goal to study Chinese to that level, then you can take the test. Okay, so that's pretty much all of the things I want to say. I want to introduce about HSK test. The next part will be the question and answer. So if you have any question, you can just leave a message here. So I will ask you. Oh, I will answer you. Wait a moment. Let me check the questions that you guys leave. First question ask any maximum age requirements to take the test? No, they don't have. For taking offline course here in Chinese universities, they may have age requirements. But for taking HSK test, they don't. Or for studying Chinese online, we don't have like age requirements. Next question is, what percentage of mark is based on writing characters? Okay, let me go back. Here. You can check here, the written part. From HSK 1 and 2, you totally don't need to write the characters. And also for HSK 3 above levels, it's not a must to really write by hand for the characters. You can just choose. I think right now most of the test centers they offer computer-based test. So you can just choose a test center with computer-based test. So you can just type your answer. They will have the pinyin test method from the computer. So you just need to type with pinyin and choose the right characters. So for really, you don't need a written ability by hand for HSK test, but you do need reading like ability for the Chinese characters. Okay, and I want to apply for a job in China. Yeah, HSK test will help your boss to measure your Chinese level. It definitely applies for you if you apply for a job in China. Um, um, the next question is quite long, so maybe you can just send me a message later so I can answer you. Usually, as I said, if you want to apply for university or scholarships, they will require a HSK 4 or plus. Depends on different universities and different policies of the uni. So you need to check which university you want to apply for and check their requirements about applying for that. I think HSK 3 is like the lowest requirements for them. HSK 4 plus for the scholarships. What is the test date? I already talked about that before. So you need to check from the HSK test website, official website, and from the website you will view the test date, and you choose and search it. It will help you to get the test dates. It will have the test each month, except for the Chinese New Year month. Where to download the oral audio recording. So about the last section, talking about HSKK, right? The oral exam for HSK. So it's the same website here, www.eblcu.com/open class, or you just go to the front page and choose open class, and there will be listed the previous open class that we have. The previous one is about the HSKK, like oral speaking test. Let me check. Must I take the HSK from HSK 1 to 9? Can I skip some if I seem ready? Yes, of course. So it depends on which level you are in right now. So for example, if your goal is just study Chinese here in China, you want to apply for a scholarship, you can just study Chinese first. You don't take HSK 1 and 2. Skip that. Just take HSK 3. And maybe if you take a long-term learning, like study for 2 years, and right now you want to test your level, maybe you are not HSK 4, you are HSK 5. You can just skip HSK 4 and take HSK 5 at that time. Yeah, it really depends on you. I don't have a requirements of like which level I should start from. You can start from any levels. And can I get a job without HSK? Sure. Definitely. Here in China, I personally know a lot of foreigners that live in China for like several years. They don't speak Chinese at all. So depends on the job you want to apply for. Do you need to use Chinese for that certain job? Depends. But I think if you're living in China, don't speak the language is like very inconvenient. Like you go somewhere, you buy things, you order food, you don't know the language. Yeah, it's I think it's not possible. Okay. Um, what grades are passing? So they don't give you a passing or not passing for HSK 1 to 6. They just give you scores, but 60%, and here in China, 60% of the total score, we will consider it as a pass. What is the best level for master degree? Requires different, like they have different requirements of different universities. So when you apply for a certain degree in a Chinese university, you should check their requirements first, and then decide set your learning goal. Should I study HSK if I apply a master degree to study my field in English language? Depends. So if you just study English teaching, English taught course in China, maybe you don't need a HSK test. But sometimes if you need to apply for scholarship, even for an English taught major in Chinese university, will require HSK levels. But yeah, just for English taught majors, maybe you don't need to study Chinese for it. Do you have lists of all characters for each test levels? You can find it from the HSK test website for each. You just choose different levels. They will list the words and characters for each level that you need to study. Any other questions? Any books recommend for the HSK? I will recommend the HSK standard course. That is also what we use for our online Chinese course of HSK. It's just called HSK standard course. Let me show you. I have it here. This is 3. It have HSK 1 to 6. We will suggest to use this book. But this one is help you to improve your Chinese level to meet a certain requirements of HSK level. Is not like pre-test, mock test book. So if you want to prepare the test just shortly before your test date, I would suggest you to take a mock test online or find a mock test books. What's the acceptance rate at BLCU for international students who have taken HSK4 and want to get 1 year language program? And I'm not very sure about that right now because I'm working for the online education department of the university. You need, again, for applying for a certain degree or certain course in a university, you need to check the admission requirements from that university website or something, admission office information, make sure what they need. How can I apply for a job in China and how much will I need for HSK? And again, let me go back to HSK levels. So if you want to use Chinese for a daily conversation, daily usage. You don't need to use Chinese for professional usage. HSK3 is the level that you can hold a daily conversation. But if you want to use Chinese for professional usage or like studying in Chinese language, then usually need HSK 506 or even above for like use Chinese for professional usage. Can we come to China without HSK or any other language barriers? Of course, yeah, you can. Like, it really depends on like whether you will use Chinese for your job or study. How to register online? Do you mean register HSK test or register the like HSK course that we have? If you want to register for HSK test, go to this website, www.chinesetest.cn to register for a test and also to check if you have a test center near you. That's the official website. And if you are interested of taking online Chinese course, HSK course with us, with BLCU, this is our website, www.eblcu.com/HSK. Okay. So we still have 2 more minutes. I think I can just answer 1 or 2 questions that you have. You can just send me email or add me on WeChat for more details of that. Yeah. At what level do we start having oral exam in HSK? Starting from HSK 3. Let me go back to that page. Yeah, here we go. So HSK 3 is HSKK, oral exam elementary, HSK 4, HSKK intermediate, HSK 5 and 6, HSK advanced, HSKK advanced. What is my WeChat here? This is my WeChat QR code. You can just scan it. Okay, let me see. I know you have a few questions about scholarships. That really depends on the university that offers the course. So you need to check the details, not asking me, check the details of the course requirements. Okay. All right, so I think that's all for right now. And here again, this is my WeChat ID, or you can here scan this. This is my QR code of WeChat, and just scan it to add me. And this is my email. And this is our website, www.eblcu.com. So you can check the course details from the website. And if you're interested, you can register from our website. And also, if you're coming late, you want to review what I said before, you can also check from our website. There will be a recording of the course from the website, open class part. Okay, so that's all for today. And thank you very much for coming today. And that's all for right now. And we are going to take another open class in next month. So there will be some updates from our website open class part. You can follow our website to get the information. Also, you can add me from my WeChat. So I will share the information from our chatting group too. Okay, thank you for coming and bye guys. 谢谢，再见。